Hi boys and girls, here we have your study guide. Watch the video for the problems you have trouble with, fast forward if you need to. And just remember, it does say you can use a calculator. Just be sure to show how you're getting your solution. So the first problem involves finding the unit price. So we need to compare the price between Market Basket and Shaw's. At Market Basket, we could set up the ratio. Market Basket's 5-pound bag costs $3.05. So we do $3.05 is your cost for 5 pounds. The unit price will tell me how much it will cost per pound. So you got to think about, okay, how can I figure out how much it's going to cost per 1 pound? What would you have to divide 5 by to get 1? 5, I hope you say. Then we're going to do $3.05 divided by 5. Another way to look at this, when you're finding the unit price, you always divide your price by your denominator. So you said you could use your calculator. So on a calculator, I do 3 divided by, $3.05 divided by 5. And I get 61 cents per pound. So I write 61 cents per pound. Then I'm going to label that MB for Market Basket. At Shaw's, the rate was 7 pounds, which was $4.90 for 7 pounds. Now we got to figure out the cost per pound. That way I can compare how much it is per pound here and at Shaw's. Divide by 7. You could use a calculator, although you should be able to do 490 divided by 7 mentally. 49 divided by 7 is 7. We get 70 cents per pound. So at Market Basket, 61 cents per pound. Shaw's is 70 cents per pound. So which one has the better deal? The one that's cheaper per pound. So Market Basket. And how much better is the deal? Well, if it's 61 cents per pound here, 70 cents per pound here, you do 70 cents minus 61 cents. It is 9 cents better deal. The next one is lesson 17, rates to ratios. So we talked about how we could take the value of the ratio and turn it into a ratio. So we know that the constant rate is 2/3 pools per hour. I could look at that as a rate of 2 pools for every 3 hours. Now we can answer the question, how many pools can Carol clean in 15 hours? Well, we could do this a number of ways. We could do this to double V. This represents pool. This represents hours. So every 2 pools takes 3 hours. So I want to get 15 hours, which represents this 3. What do you multiply 3 by to get 15? 5. So then, what are you going to have to multiply 2 by to make equivalent ratio? 5 again. 2 times 5 is 10, so 10 pools. Or you could do a tape diagram using the ratio 2:3. So 2 represents pools, 3 represents hours. So what they're saying is if it's 15 hours, that represents 15 hours, how many hours would it have to be for each part if they're the same? Well, 15 divided by 3 is 5. Therefore, it would be 5 hours per part here to get 10 hours. And obviously there's other ways you could do this as well. The next one is asking how long does it take Carol to clean 12 pools. So we could use the tape diagram again. The original ratio is 2:3. They want 12 pools. So these 2 parts is 12 pools. So the value of each part would have to be 6. 6 times 3 is 18 hours. Or you could do the double V. This time, what do you multiply 2 by to get 12? Times 6. So we're going to do 3 times 6 to get 18 hours again. Next, we'll do lesson 18 through 22, which is finding a rate by dividing 2 quantities. So we have Denise runs 7 miles a day. That's your unit rate. So we're going to use my unit rate, 7 miles. Remember we did this with the stations around the class, and I told you had to set it up. Always multiply by the rate, which is 30 days. 30 days what unit do they have in common? We do this so that you know they have to be diagonal. Days. Now we do 7 times 30 to get 210 miles in 30 days. Okay? Number 4. Number 4, I realized I made a mistake when typing my problem. Kudos to Jacob Gilbert for pointing that out. So this should be not Brian, should be Thomas. So I apologize for that. So when I look at this, Thomas and Jared are both training for a bike race. We're going to compare them. One is presented in a table, the other is presented in a graph. And I did tell you had to add these values in. If you didn't do that now, kind of hard to answer the question when you don't have any data point. So I forgot to do that before I made copies. So that should be within the problem. Now we can go ahead and answer this. At what rate does each biker travel? So Thomas is right here. If Thomas goes 80 miles in 4 hours, how many miles does he go in 1 hour? You could divide by 4. 80 divided by 4 is 20 miles an hour. What about Jared? You can look at Jared's graph. How far did Jared go in 1 hour? Should label hours and miles here. You can see that Jared goes in 1 hour 15 miles. So Jared is 15 miles per hour. We spent a day writing equations because we struggled with that, and we talked about how we could use the unit rate, which is right here, to write an equation. Okay? So your unit rate for Thomas was 20 miles per hour. We must use the variables h for hours. So for every 1 hour, Thomas goes 20 miles. There's your equation. What about Jared? Again, Jared is for every 15 miles in 1 hour. Who's the faster biker? The person that goes farther in an hour. So Thomas is faster by 10 miles, sorry, not 10 miles, 5 miles per hour. Okay? The next one, number 5, it has to do with measurement and distance, rate, and time. So you need your reference sheet probably